Poppy, welcome to the building.
Yo, how y'all doing tonight?
We got the call in there. So let's go ahead. What are your thoughts on some of the stuff that we're talking about? Aborting black babies. Do you agree with it? Do you disagree with it? You see the points that she have. What you got for us?
Man, it's more fuckery going on, man. It's more fuckery going on right now, as usual. And now it seems that it's only fuckery going on with the minorities. That's it. With our minorities, you see what I'm saying? Because it's just you don't hear no other race talking about stuff like this. Only us. You see what I'm saying? It's only us.
Well, that's because here's the thing. Because you see this argument all the time, and what black women don't realize, because they're saying that what they're trying to do is they're trying to put a lot of the stuff on black men right now, right? You're trying to make a lot of stuff make it seem like it's a black male problem, but you can't do that when the black community in itself exists within a matriarchy. We're officially a matriarchal society in the black community. That's what we are. We look up the mamas more than our dads. Like, that's what it is. So, first of all, in a situation like that, in a matriarchies by definition don't breed strong men. That's just what it is. Like, if you want to look at human or animal nature, matriarchies don't build like solid men. That's just what it is. So when you're saying, listen, if you don't believe me, look at there's a species of monkeys, a species of chimpanzees, I believe, right? I think it's the bonobos, right? I think they're completely matriarchal. And double check me if I'm wrong, guys. Check me if I'm wrong, but there's a species of chimpanzees right now. I think they're bonobos, and essentially these species are completely matriarchal, right? And they only exist within a small portion of a particular island that they occupy. And the reason is, if they were to go outside of that, literally, that whole civilization would be destroyed. They'd be destroyed because they don't have strong male chimps there to basically fight amongst not fight amongst each other, but go ahead and defend or go attack other groups of chimpanzees.
Man, listen,
matriarchies in general in the animal kingdom don't build strong masculine goddamn role models, and there's a reason for that, because they exist right now within an ecosystem that doesn't require masculine chimpanzees, just kind of like what we see here. So if they're talking about strong men cannot exist in a matriarchy. It's just not possible. So then you got to make the argument. Well, look at them coming from the white communities. White men, they act differently. They're different to their women. Well, they overwhelmingly exist in the patriarchy, which is crazy. Because when y'all talk about patriarchy, that's not for black women or black men. Because black men in this country never had a patriarchy. It's always been some level of equal or a matriarchy. So this, realistically, a lot of this is your fault of your mothers and your mothers' mothers and your grandmothers. Not the fault of men, because black men in the black community never really had power equivalent to the white men. So to even make that kind of argument is stupid and disingenuous. Because you're making an argument of all men. You're putting black men in the argument of all men when it comes to power dynamics. But then when it comes to women, you're taking that away and saying, no, we've been at a disadvantage. Not realizing that black men and black women have always been in the same spot since slavery. The same slavery you're talking about, where these black men have been leaving baby mouths all over the place. We've been equal since slavery, and only recently we've passed that because black women are now above black men in the matriarchy we live in. That's just what it is.
It's just crazy, bro, because if you really think about it, I would like to know why is something dramatic happening in her life. Do she got a baby or not? I think she got a baby, right?
I think she has kids. She definitely has kids. She has to have kids.
Kids or kids? Do you know how many?
No. How many kids does Cynthia G have, y'all?
I know for sure one.
She definitely got. I know she's got kids.
And from what I know, she got one by a black guy, right?
It has to be. Because where all this hate coming from? It's got to be black. Oh, she doesn't have it. Teresa M says she doesn't have a kid. But then Teresa M also says some wild shit, too.
So, hold on. Because O'Shea Jackson made a video about her having a kid before. So
She probably has kids, dog.
but
I'm
he
pretty
said,
sure she
but
has kids.
you're supposed to be by a pookie. I don't know what that even means to be.
Oh, wait. Cynthia G doesn't have kids. She said that herself. Okay, she said that she doesn't have kids. My bad. I just remembered.
Okay, I could have swear O'Shea Jackson made a video about her. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
Either she said that she doesn't have kids or she doesn't have a black boy.
I remember seeing O'Shea Jackson. I believe that he made a video about Cynthia G having a kid by a pookie guy.
She probably aborted it.
No, because at that point she would have made it. He would have made the video then.
Either way.
But what I'm saying, my point is,
yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, but my point is that's all. You see what I'm saying? To make her, because you cannot just go by having a kid with a black guy to like talk about straight up abort these goddamn kids. That's a string. That's two string right there. Yeah, and to be honest with you, man, I refuse to believe that she feels this way, man. I think she just doing this to.
No, bro, Poppy, that's why I think you're wrong.
Black woman would say this, bro. I can't.
That's why I think you're wrong. Because if you look at and pay attention to how she talks, bro, she talks in a stream of consciousness. When she talks about the shit, you could tell it comes out in a stream of consciousness. And when people talk in a stream of consciousness, it's very, very hard to have it's very hard to have that come off as calculated. You gotta understand, when she speaks, you can tell she really believes what she's saying. When people speak like that, especially when it comes out in a stream of consciousness, when she's talking, you can tell they believe a whole lot of elements of what they're talking about. That's what when I look at her and what she's saying, I genuinely believe that she believes what she's saying.
Man, I don't, bro, because in the internet, I don't believe a lot of these motherfuckers, yo. They're just doing stuff just to sell some sort of course, get super chats and shit like that. It's a lot of scammers in this goddamn internet shit, yo, especially you.
They are, and I'll agree with you on that. But I don't believe Cynthia G is that. I believe that she's genuine, but she's wrong in her beliefs, which makes her even more dangerous because she actually believes the bullshit.
You know what? Like, if she believed that, bro, let's just say what she's saying is true. She believed it with all her heart. What she's doing is so messed up, bro, that she's poisoning the mind of all the girls that are, because it's easy. Now that I'm doing this internet bullshit now, it's easy to pursue people if you really think about it. These people start following somebody, they start following their ideology. Next thing you know, they become like soldiers, like cult-like kind of stuff, bro. That's dangerous, bro.
Well, the thing is, Poppy, is because we don't have the sense of community we have, and I'm not talking about black people. Because here's the thing: I think we get confused when we talk about black people and the rest of the entire world, right? And we talk about relationships as a whole, and we use that interchangeably. But here's the big fact that we got to understand: a lot of things that we're seeing that's going on in the black community right now is also bleeding out into the greater community as a whole. So we can't deny that anymore. Whatever's going on in black culture is quickly becoming American culture, right? So the problem is when we're talking about online we're dealing with people that don't have communities because guess what? Before social media, how else did we build communities? We built communities by going out and physically building those communities. Black men, women, all alike. The women were good at networking. The men were going out and bringing resources. That's what we did, right? But the fact that no one knows how to communicate with each other anymore, everyone's putting their lives on social media, which isn't the real lives, because the real lives is boring. Fake life is more interesting, and you get other people that want to live vicariously through you. So when you have that, right, and you listen to guys with these fake lives on here, right, well, it gets easier to try to find and pick and choose with people who vibe with your own little tribe. So then you buy into that wholeheartedly, which is why I'm surprised that someone like Cynthia G can have a massive following that she has of people who agree with this bullshit, and the majority black women. That's crazy to me. So then why y'all getting mad when black men are saying that they don't date black women, or they say something even remotely that could be considered derogatory towards black women, and we hear this shit and we're not flipping out. Everyone's silent. We flip shit on the minor stuff, but then when it comes to this stuff, we're including some of y'all women out there too. You're completely okay with this. But when it comes to someone saying something against you, you're not. If this doesn't expose the fact that all y'all that listen to this bullshit are hypocrites, You're nothing but big, massive hypocrites. And you only get mad when the same ideas you're using to perpetuate against the people or other genders, when they get flipped against you, that's when you get mad. When you actually see black men not complaining about the fact you're not dealing with them, but actually showing it through their actions, you get mad.
Yo.
When someone calls you out for the goddamn decisions that you make in dealing with these ain't shit dudes, you get mad. Because no one can tell you shit. You fail to admit that. Black women can't tell black women shit. Let's just be real. Black women are scared to tell other black women anything. Let's just be real. So if we live in a culture where black women has created a situation where even other black women can't even talk, or if they get talked, they get called pygmies. That even happened on the show. We had ladies calling other black women on this show pygmies because they chose to think differently than the boss babe mentality. So we want to talk about shame, insults, guilt, need to be right. It's right there. Y'all do this to other women, they can't tell you what's up. So when y'all raising ain't shit dudes, y'all raising ain't shit daughters because they ain't ready to be wives or husbands. You get mad when somebody's trying to tell you something because goddamn, you tell a black woman something. That day is changing, bruh. That day is changing. Literally, you have to understand, ladies. The manosphere, the entire manosphere as a whole, is literally a catalyst to the bullshit that you guys are doing right now at greater media at large. That's what this is. It's the counterculture to that. When guys hear that bullshit, when they see what's going on in the media, and they come to this space, no, minus the hardliners. We're not even talking about those guys. We're not talking about the Donnie Boys, the Rolos, or Fresh and Fits. Those guys, they're discredited. They don't even matter. But when they come into these spaces, you got to understand that the power you think you have within the next 5 to 10 years is gone. The spending power you think you have is gone. Because I'm going to tell you this, you are in more debt than you have income.
Mm-hmm.
A black woman, the debt to income ratio, especially when you include the college debt, since you're the most enrolled, it's horrible. It's horrible. And when this house of cards crashes, you'll understand the problem. And it ain't black men. It ain't society. It's your decisions. Go ahead, Bobby.
Man, you couldn't say it any righter, man, because we are black people is at the bottom of every financial statistic that there is to be made, yo. There is like we got the less money, we want the less houses. So that being said, black men need a black woman. That there is no way around it because nobody else coming to save us. You see what I'm saying? And to be honest, man, at least hopefully, I'm just gonna take a wild guess on this. That gotta be a small number of black women that think like she does. It have to be. Because I know a lot of girls and they never told me some shit like that. You see what I'm saying? So it have to be like a very small number that think her way. Now, somebody in the chat just said it, Ruby, I think, she said she does have a baby by a black guy that have 5 baby mamas. You see, that's where the hurt comes. That's where the hurt comes. I told you. I don't know her at all. And I honestly believe when somebody talk like that, they got problems. I don't think she really believe that shit. She just like probably trying to make money out of it. I don't know. But look, she's saying
while you're saying that, I'm about to pull up a really good example of this bullshit and show you that it's like literally a lot of black women, right? A lot of this comes down to emotional choice, okay?
Yep.
And when Cynthia G talks about, oh, we're not making emotional arguments, everything we're making is logical, I'm about to show you something that proves that that's bullshit. That despite all the red flags a man can display to a woman and a woman would know, she still would choose to deal with the ain't shit dudes without taking responsibility. Go ahead, Poppy. While I pull this up, I'm gonna take my.
What I want to know is what baby mama shit is. She number 3, 4, or 5. You see what I'm saying? And that would tell me that will let me know that she's like a Sierra. Remember Sierra? She willingly signed up to be Future's baby mama number 4. Willingly, knowing that this guy already have 4 baby mamas, so she willingly became baby mama number 5, knowing what time it was with this guy.
Yeah.
And then turn around and be surprised that the guy played you. Like you didn't
So
have.
why, in your opinion, why do you think that women do that, right? They go ahead and deal with the ain't shit dudes, and then like they turn around and just go ahead and blame the guy for the decisions that they've made. Why do you think that they do that?
Oh man, this man, like okay, it's like this, man. The places that we come from, you see what I'm saying? Most of us come from like broken places, neighborhoods. Most neighborhoods doesn't have a father and a daddy together, so it's easy for a female to fall into those traps. You see what I'm saying? Also, females gotta be real conscious that most females don't like to fuck with the proper kind of lame, kind of corny guy too. That comes in place too. If those corny lame guys trying to holler at these girls, they will straight up laugh at them, and that's why and that's when it's. I mean, we don't talk about fresh and fit today, but like you can just tell they used to be laughed at back in the days, like in their high school and college days. They was
absolutely, and that's the truth. That's the truth, Bob. Because you brought up an interesting point. A lot of black women, and I know because I was one of those dudes that had to change, and I had to change when in middle school. I used to get clowned for wearing clothes that fit. I wasn't wearing tall tees. Y'all don't realize. For those of y'all who remember, tall tees were in. Tall tees, Air Force Ones, or Jordans, right? Jordans are still in, but like that's when they were really. You got the baggy pants, you got the tall tees. Back then, I was clowned for wearing fitted clothes.
Yeah.
I was clowned because my shirt sleeve didn't go to my elbows, and I got clowned for that. I got clowns because I wore FUBUs instead of Air Force Ones. I got clowned for that. So what I realized is that the sisters that I found attractive were going after guys when the tall tees, the backward caps, right, the baggy jeans, and the Air Forces. Guess what? I switched up, and I became that dude. So don't deny that you are not. Because listen, when I was dressed in fitted clothes, I was a lame. Because I was dressed in fitted clothes and I talked properly. So I was just known as a dude who's a wannabe white boy, right? A white boy wannabe. And this is by black women, by the way.
Yeah.
Right? The same women that I wanted to date. Because I wasn't pretending to be a gangbanger. I wasn't pretending to be anybody but some kid out of Africa, right? And I got clowned by the same black women because I didn't look like those thuggish types. And when I did change my persona up to be those thuggish types, we didn't have a problem. So we can't say that we have an attraction to guys who are hyper masculine and then turn around and say, "Nah, those guys, they ain't shit for a reason, bruh."
Yeah, you're right, bro. Because it's just pay attention, and this happening everywhere, in every hood, every city that you live in. Only a small percentage of guys are the one who making all the babies, though. You got to look at it that way.
Let me show you this. Let me show you this tape. Let me show you this tape because I think y'all need to pay attention to this, ladies. You need to pay attention to this because it don't matter how sweet a man's words is. It don't matter what it is. The fact of the matter is, you're wired to spot red flags, and you know when a dude is talking bullshit. And if you don't know, you should start learning that real quick. Because we about to listen to a story about a woman who has so many opportunities and dealt with so many red flags, but ignored them and had to deal with the consequences. Let's go.
It's the TikToks and shit like that. Yo, can you hear it?
Say what?
Can you hear it?
Yeah, can you? Can you guys hear it?
I think he's mute.
Oh shit! Let me play that back. Hold up. We'll play it back.
Flag that you should not have ignored about someone you were dating.
You guys hear it?
So I was dating this guy back in 2019.
Now they can hear it now.
seemed like a really nice and laid back person. We talked a lot and we
You probably gonna
got
have to
right.
start it over.
The first red flag was that he told me he didn't have health insurance. And when you're young and dumb, that doesn't really seem like that big of a deal. You know, health insurance is expensive. The next red flag was that he told me he didn't get checked out because he doesn't have health insurance. Since I got checked out, he would know if he had something, if I had something. So that was like his checkups. The biggest red flag was that he said he didn't have any kids because all 6 of his exes got abortions. So basically, what he was saying is that he had unprotected sex, he didn't pull out, and he did not get checked out. Because I ignored those red flags, I now have herpes. Learn from me, ladies.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
What is a red flag that you should?
Y'all, let me know if y'all heard it.
Yeah, I didn't
Let me
want to
know
hear
if y'all
that.
heard that. So this is a definition of an ain't shit dude, and this is a sister who's dealing with the ain't shit dude. Had all the red flags in the goddamn world, right? I ain't got health insurance. Oh, I was young and dumb, so I bypassed that. Okay, fine. All right. And he's never been checked out, right? One of these fresh and fit boys over here, right? Because you ain't a real player unless you got burned. Ain't that right, Fresh Prince CEO? You said that, right? So this might be one of your many stands out here on demon time and running through girls, right? Especially sisters.
Wrap up,
So
please.
that was a huge red flag. Never got checked out. You ignored that. Oh, I didn't have anything, and since you're checked out, you know, I would know if I had something because then you have something. So he was basically saying, I'm gonna use you as a human test strip to know if I got burned or not, right? So I'm gonna just go ahead and go up in you raw, and if you got some, then I'll know if I had something. And you still let it happen.
Yeah, she still let
You still slept with the man. Her and 5 other women who still fell for the same trap. So women fall into traps like this all the time out of their own decisions. And then when the consequences hit, you want to turn around and say the man wasn't shit, but he gave you decisions and red flags the entire time, letting you know that he wasn't shit. Letting you know that, hey, dealing with me, you're going to have problems for the rest of your life. In this case, it wasn't a baby, but it was an itch you can't scratch.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, Cynthia G, where does women and their choices come into your argument? Where does it come into play? Because it seems to me, even this lady takes accountability. Even she takes accountability. She says, learn from me. Right? And shout out to her. She doesn't seem bitter doing this video. She probably was at some point, but she's probably at a moment of like acceptance, right?
She's at peace with herself.
So she doesn't seem bitter talking about all these guys ain't shit. She's saying, learn from me. But there are countless of sisters who go through similar situations and come out with a jaded mentality, not realizing this was a choice they made. You slept with the dude that was ain't shit. You fell for all the bullshit lies. You didn't do the thinking, and you deal with the consequences, either getting burned or dealing with kids. You don't have unwanted sex if you don't want to. Well, all of this is proven, ladies, that it doesn't matter what kind of blaming that you did. At the end, all said and done, at the end of the day, it comes down to you and your agency. By you blaming other people, blaming other genders, blaming society, you are by definition saying that I am powerless. As an adult, I am powerless. I have no agency. Then you're no different from a child. That's what Cynthia G is saying. She's saying that all of y'all don't have the concept of taking accountability and responsibility. Therefore, you guys equate the children. That's what she's saying. But I don't believe that. I believe women and adults and they know how to take responsibility. I believe that full-heartedly. Now, are there some women out here that act like children? Absolutely. But I definitely believe women know how to take accountability and agency. We're looking at one right here. Ignored all the red flags and got burned. Literally. She got burned.
Holy Prince.
So, we know that it can take accountability. What about the women that you're dealing with? The women that are huddled around your group right now, Cynthia G, talking about it's all men's fault. They are out here actively making decisions like this young lady right now, and they're resentful of. But this is the kind of stuff that goes on. So miss me with that bullshit. That it ain't the women's fault, and you can blame the man without blaming the women.
Yeah.
Let me play this one more time so y'all know. Let me play this one more time so y'all know.
Wow. This is crazy.
What is a red flag that you should not have ignored about someone you
What is a red flag that you should have not ignored about somebody? Let's keep playing.
So I was dating this guy back in 2019. He seemed like a really nice and laid back person. We talked a lot and we vibed right away. The first red flag was that he told me he didn't have health insurance. And when you're young and dumb, that doesn't really seem like that big of a deal.
Another thing they like to use, right? The young and dumb argument.
The
Stop
age.
it. Knock it off.
Be like
Stop
30, it's not that they're young.
Because then what is young?
They be like
Young and
25.
dumb. Okay, a
Young.
child is young and dumb. They're below 18. But as soon as you're 18, legally they say you're an adult. So as an adult, ain't no time to be dumb. You ain't got time to be young and dumb because being young and dumb will cost you. So we gotta stop using these arguments, young and dumb, because you're ineffectively saying I was a child when I wasn't.
You know, health insurance is expensive. The next red flag was that he told me he didn't get checked out because he doesn't have health insurance. Since
Ladies, in the chat right now, some of y'all watching, let me know if y'all would sleep with a man that tells you he hasn't been checked out. And he haven't been checked out because he doesn't have health insurance.
It all depends how much they like him, bro. It all depends.
Let me know.
If they like him that much, they go raw up in there. I'm telling you.
I got checked out, he would know if he had something, if I had something. So that was like his checkups. The biggest red flag was that he said he didn't have any kids because all 6 of his exes got abortions. So basically what he was saying is that he had unprotected.
All 6 of his exes got abortions. Wait a minute. Ladies, this one's for you, all right? Guys, I'm sorry you can't take a poll on this one. This is for the ladies, all right? Ladies, how many of y'all, if a guy told you, right, a guy you're dealing with right now came up and told you, hey, baby, don't worry about it, and he was trying to be slick about it. Let me get my mug in here. If a dude that you seeing right now came up to you and said, hey, baby, listen, it's cool. Let me hit that raw. All of my other baby mamas. See, you gotta understand. Listen, they all had abortions. All 6 of them. They all had abortions. So we cool. All right, it's my kids. They all got abortions. It's cool. How many of y'all ladies will see that as a red flag? If a dude was dealing with a lady and his last 6 exes all had abortions, how many of y'all put a 1 would see that as a red flag? How many of you 2 would just it doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. A man's past. It's fine. I'm interested to see. Because I'm sorry, logically speaking, if I put myself in a role of a female, right, and I'm not, but if I did, if a dude told me that all 6 of his exes all had abortions, and I know I'm girl number 7, I'm like, I'd be thinking twice a little bit. Like, wait a minute. The last 6 girls you were with all had abortions. Time out. I'm not going to be girl number 7. At least that'd be something logically runs through my mind, or I'm wrong. The women
hold on now.
differently.
Hold on now. She probably wanted to see what is that about. She probably want to find out how that thing feel like. That's what the only explanation.
Okay, so we got some ladies in here saying nah, or you probably laugh.
No, it's just they like him, bro. It all depends how much they like him. That's what it comes down to. This guy, they like him a lot.
It's ridiculous.
I know it's stupid. No, I agree with you. It's real stupid. But what I'm saying is, if these girls like this man that much, they will let him go raw open without looking at his last STD test or something like that. At least look at his shit. At least go make the man go take a test. That's how you know.
Or better yet, just wear a condom. I don't care how much he says it feels better without. Make him wear a condom.
And
that's just what it is.
Yeah.
Like, I don't get it, man. Like, women, this is another fucked up thing that most guys can't wrap their heads around. And like the fact that y'all keep saying this makes y'all look ridiculous. Okay? When y'all saying that you guys don't have any other, especially when they make these birth control arguments or this not birth control, this abortion argument when the conservatives and liberals go at it, right? And you also know, we don't have any other options. It's like you guys have all these forms of birth control. What are we doing with that?
Before and after.
What are we doing? What are we doing with all these forms of birth control that you guys have? If not, you're being irresponsible with it. So make it make sense, because you guys have all these opportunities here with birth control. Guys really don't, aside from the condom. So you guys have all these opportunities, yet you're still being in single mothers households, being raising single parents, a child from single parents household. What is the issue here? Because you guys have all this pertaining to you and all this help. Why are we not utilizing it? Like, why are we not? Why are we still ending up in single moms or single men hanging out with children out of wedlock from single parent households when we have all these opportunities available to us? And Sasha Boo, don't say vasectomies. Vasectomies are there, and guys take advantage of it, but that's only two. You got the IUDs, you got the pills, multiple different forms of pills. You got the one, what do you call it? The one knockout one. The morning after.
They got that system of that.
You got the little one that I had a girl who had that underneath the arm and shit.
Yeah. It's like 20
years for women. Listen, let them come out with one of these birth controls for dudes where you can stick on the arm. I say, hey, sign me up. Sign me up.
And they got a plan B on top of that.
So, like, it never made any sense to me. Like, when guys hear this argument talking about, women never had a choice, women didn't have this, we look at you as ridiculous. Not all women, the women that make this argument. Like, when you make this argument, you look ridiculous. Because we're looking at over here, we're seeing all these options, then we look over here, and we're seeing you making these decisions, and then we're like, make this make sense.
You can't.
You can't. Because then at the end of the day, it comes down to your choice. That's why we can't make sense of it. Because it's your choice. Nigga, we don't know what's going on in y'all heads. We don't know. It comes down to you and your choice. So choose better. I want to go a little bit more of Cynthia G. And then we'll go ahead and close out. But I wanna play a little bit more so we can react to it.
All right.
Okay, Teresa M. When you look at men as ridiculous, you get a woman pregnant, genius. Okay. Now we go back to this is you guys are about to see this argument logically break down in real time. Teresa M. Then I'll ask you. Okay, did the man take the woman in order to make her pregnant? Did he forcibly take her? And then if not, if we know it wasn't rape, right? Then now my next question would be, did the woman consent to that? And if she did consent to it, then why would you then think? My last question would be: then why would you then come to the conclusion that it's the men making the babies rather than both of them making babies? That just exposed the one-sided thinking that you have. And I got nothing against you, Teresa. I mean, it seems like you're actually genuinely confused. Like, you seem genuinely confused. So I'm just going to clarify this right now. Take the time to do it so I wouldn't have to do it later. You seem genuinely confused. Because if it takes two to tango, then it's not just one person's fault because they had the woman's left with the baby. The woman has to be more selective than the man has to be. The man can smash whoever he wants. The woman has to be more selective. It's been like that since thousands of years. That's how biology works. Women have always been more selective ones when it comes down to genetics and whatnot. That's why I don't even, some of the guys that complain, she's saying that she wants a guy with money, she's saying that she wants a height, all these different things. I don't bat an eye at that. I see that as she is reasonable because you want the best genetic makeup for your offspring. That makes sense. But you can't then just be selective and then blame the dudes that you selected and say, no, you put the baby in me. No, you consented to that. Unless the man takes you forcibly, then you consented to it. So you were responsible for it, especially if you have all these options of birth control that you can take responsibility for. Keyword you. Let's play this.
Man, people crazy, man. People is crazy, man. So let me get this right. A female just go robbing, and then you just throw around blame the man. You the one who's gonna get stuck with the baby. Is the guy the one that got nothing to do with you?
Oh shit! What was it, Poppy?
I say like female, whatever Teresa M was saying, she pretty much saying like, well, it's guys' fault that a female get pregnant. I'm like, no, girl, like if you get pregnant by ain't shit guy, you're gonna be stuck raising that kid by yourself. Like, why don't you think that way? Like, it's not
No,
that.
that's the thing, man. Like that women like that don't get, or if Teresa M is a woman or what, um, like y'all don't understand that y'all just think that it's a one sided thing. Y'all think it's a one sided thing. And okay, let's use the condom argument, right? And let's say the man convinces you not otherwise. Well, then you allowed yourself to be convinced otherwise. Because let's not pretend that we don't know the consequences when it comes to sex. Guys know that very well. Because we don't have agency when it comes to once our seed leaves our bodies. Once our seed leaves our bodies, we have
It's
zero
over.
control of that.
It's over.
It's over
It's
with.
over.
You have all the control after that point. So we want to talk about wrapping up. Okay, fine, we'll put it on the guys. But if you want to talk about like sex, it's a two-party thing, and the woman has to consent because you are the gatekeepers. You are the selectors. You select who goes inside you. You select and you make sure if they wear a wrapper or not. If you let them convince you otherwise, that's on you. I don't care how many sweet talking, you know what's right and you know what's wrong. But the fact that it matters you make the decision to go otherwise, you were wrong. And you face the decision for that. Because society ain't going to waste time to make sure the man's held responsible. Society's not going to waste time. But when it comes to women, we have to skirt around. Listen, if we're going to have open and honest conversations that are going to bring us both together, we have to be honest with it. We have to be honest about what's happening in our communities and with women at large.
And yo, listen, you gotta make this point real strong right here.
Exactly, Lante. Both are wrong.
Females actually they are covered because once like you have sex with a girl and you busting her and get her pregnant, guess what? Her wrong it would be made right. I mean this. I mean that if you're not around, you're gonna be put on child support. Number one, right? Number two, she can always go get government assistance. So no matter what she does, she always gonna be covered. Now, let's talk about the men. The men be like, "Oh shit, I made a mistake." Guess what? Society don't give a fuck. You either pay that child support or you're going to jail. That's it.
I know
That's
brothers that
what
are locked up for that shit right now. That's why I can't sit there and just like in good faith sit there and say, "Oh no, men don't have consequences," or even make this argument because it's not true. Men have consequences when they have kids out of wedlock. It's called child support. And guess what?
The man go to
If
jail.
the man's not paying child support, whose choice is that? Yours. So we have a situation, ladies. What you gotta understand is we have a situation where the government and society takes responsibility and accountability away from you by providing you safety nets when you have children by ain't shit dudes versus the other side when it comes to men, society punishes men for doing that. We know that because the laws have been changed since the 60s and upwards. The laws haven't changed. And what happens is with arguments like Teresa likes to make, it ends up becoming circular. Because now it's like, oh well, if the man didn't bust in her, well then she wouldn't have gotten pregnant. And you're failing to see the argument that it's both of y'all fault. If the man busts in her and runs, it's the woman's fault for basically choosing that guy and not vetting properly. If the man busts in her, it's his fault for not wrapping up, and now the woman has to deal with that. It takes two to tango. Women just all of a sudden just pop out kids with no man, because then that would make sense if y'all just popped out kids with no man. But it doesn't, because life doesn't work that way. So two people, they're both equally to blame. But then when you dive deep enough, then you will start to realize that there's a certain group of guys who will do that shit and won't take responsibility. But there's an overwhelming group of guys that will do that shit and are willing to take responsibility, but the women ain't having it. So literally, like all these different conversations, when you break it down, it comes down to choice. Literally, all of this comes down to choice.
And that's one part that bothers me too. That they have painted man like we don't take care of our kids, bro. I don't know that many guys that don't take care of their kids, to be honest. And I know a lot of people. I know a lot of people, bro. Let's say if I know 100 men that got kids, 97% 97 of them are good fathers. So I don't know where all this notion come from that men don't take care of their kids. They be baby daddies. That's just a complete lie, bro. That shit is a complete lie, bro.
You want to know how a dude's gonna be ain't shit? A big red flag. If a guy barely knows you, he hasn't claimed you be his girlfriend or anything like that, but he wants to have sex with you with no rubber. That's how you know this dude ain't shit.
Or he drunk.
If he doesn't have good dick discipline and doesn't have control over his seed, because that's the one thing that separates a man from a boy. A boy will fuck anything. A man understands the ramifications of putting his seed in the wrong woman. So if he decides to just shoot all around or get inside you with no rubber, that's already flag number one that he ain't about shit. He's not about protecting his seed. And then you're to blame for letting an ain't shit dude who doesn't know how to protect the seed come in you. That's it.
And
that's how that works.
And that's what I say in every city.
If a guy is basically saying, nah, let's not use a condom. That's how you know. And I know because I used to do that shit. You gotta understand that. Until I fucked around and I ended up having a kid and whatnot, and I took responsibility, so call me ain't shit. I was on that same pattern as some of these dudes, but the difference is I took responsibility when my girl got knocked up, and I wifed her up. Why? Wasn't because for love, happily ever after. I just knew that, hey, listen, I'm not having a baby out of wedlock. I grew up Roman Catholic, and that shit was frowned upon. Why? Because my culture had shame. We had shame, and I'd be looked at crazy. How you gonna go around here popping things? So you can't just say it's all men. And then after that, I realized you gotta protect your seed. Because, hey, some of these girls will put you through hell. Especially when kids are involved.
18 years, baby.
18 years.
That don't scare you?
They will do that to you. So now, being a little older, being a little wiser, I realize that protecting my seed is the right call. So even if I'm dealing with women right now, I'm not just going out here just busting you like that. I'm gonna wear a condom. I've had girls that say, no, don't do it. Nah, hell no. What you mean? And as soon as I'm done, I'm flushing that bitch.
18 years. That's all you have to remember.
I ain't playing. You can't get me for another 18. I'm already doing time right now. You ain't gonna catch me for another one.
That scared the shit out of me.
I know brothers with like 5 or 6 kids, and they talking and doing. I'm like, yo, listen, bro. How do you not wake up with night terrors? Like, if I had 5 kids and with different baby mamas, dog. Like, especially knowing the one bro. Like, I would wake up with night terrors. I'd be like, oh shit. Fuck, I got another one. Oh shit. Little Timmy. I forgot about little Timmy. God damn. How do y'all not wait? All y'all dudes out there with 5, 6 kids with like 2 or 3 different baby mamas. How y'all here not waking up with night terrors? That's how I know y'all ain't got no direction whatsoever. So y'all dudes out here doing that shit, y'all ain't got no direction. Because I would like, even with the one kid I got right now, and just like waking up, just like trying to make sure I got everything in order for her. Even to this day, as a dad, I don't even know if 100% if I know what I'm doing, right? So how is it that you add in 4 more babies on top of that? I lose my mind. But some of these dudes do it, and they're not in the right position to be doing that stuff financially either. And then I look at the women that choose these. I'm like, why would you? Alright, bro, that's your lives. That was me. I'd be screaming in night terrors. Like, I'd be waking up, cold sweats and chills and shit. Like, I had 5 miles to feed by myself. Hell no. Hell no.
That's scary, bro. That is scary. Just getting the wrong girl pregnant, that should scared the shit out of you, man. Look.
Yeah. No, absolutely my best ain't good enough. That's what I just said. Sometimes I don't even know what the fuck I'm doing. I literally just said that, and I'm honest with it. I'm not gonna sit there and pretend I'm the best dad in the world because I'm saying no.
You try though. You try.
I know, like, listen, man, there are issues I gotta work with too as a single dad. Even when it came down to one-to-ones, when it came down to dealing with other women, like, I stopped bringing other women around my daughter. Because, like, I would have women around my daughter, and, like, we would do they'll get to know them and whatnot, get to know her and whatnot, and then we'll break up. And my daughter's like, oh, where's this person? Where's that? And you can see the sadness in her eyes because they built that bond. So I stopped doing that as a dad.
I never did that.
Now, I don't control what her mom does with other dudes. I don't control that. But I know for me, having random females just coming in and meeting my kid. That's dead. I can't do that no more. So I
never
stopped.
did that.
But I'm still learning as a father because I don't know, especially as a single dad trying to navigate this. I don't know, and any single dad that tell you that they know, they lying or they capping. Because most dudes, especially most parents, they don't know what the fuck they're doing. So as a parent, I still don't know, and I have these questions. What I do know, it would have been better if the household was intact, but it's not. So I'm in a situation where I have to figure out how to move on from here to make it as best as I could, even though I know for a fact my best ain't gonna be good enough compared to families who are intact. When she goes to school and she's dealing with kids that come from two-parent household, I know for a fact my best ain't good enough. Because I'm watching that right there.
But let me tell you something, bro. You gotta give yourself credit because you are a good father, bro. Every time we get on the phone, shit like that, your kid is always with you. You see what I'm saying? Just like my kid is always with me. Like I don't know, like sometimes she be jumping on the line like by mistake and stuff. Like you see what I'm saying? That you gotta be proud of yourself. That you said you don't know what you're doing. I think you worded it the wrong way. I think you should say more like, I don't know if I'm doing right.
No. Here's
I don't
the
know
thing.
if I'm
The reason why I
100% right.
believe that because I believe no one's perfect. Because believe me, I get told this all the time. Even my baby moms, I get told this all the time. You're a great father. You're a great dad. Like I don't believe that shit. Because deep down, like I don't even know if what I'm doing is right. I question myself on certain things. Okay, how do I properly, let her know that what she's doing is wrong without going crazy like my mom used to go crazy on me? Because that's the experience I have with raising a kid. How do I do that where I can have her come to me and I can create an open, safe situation where she's not afraid to tell me anything or come to me and tell me something? The same thing that I didn't get with my parents. Because my parents didn't create that safe environment. I was scared to do shit. The shit that I hid from my parents, I don't want my daughter to be hiding from me.
Especially in today's day.
You see what I'm saying? So there's a lot of things that I have to question as a father. So don't get me wrong. I get those compliments all the time. I get those. But deep down, I don't believe them because I don't believe anyone's a good. My best isn't good enough. If my best was good enough, we still. Why did I separate from her mother while she was only 3 years old? Why didn't I do the best I can to keep that intact?
You try hard enough.
I didn't try hard enough. That's bingo. But I'm a dude over here taking responsibility, knowing my best ain't good enough. So I understand that. So when I sit here and I listen to women like Cynthia G put all black men in the box and say, oh, all these dudes ain't shit, all these dudes ain't nothing, I'm going to tell you this, you're wrong. Because I know brothers out here that fight every day. I don't even know some brothers that fight, and the harder they fight, the crazier shit gets, especially with the woman dealing with their kids.
This is crazy.
Grover Reed, shout out to you. Welcome to the stream. That's good, brother. Oh, you mute.
Not anymore. I'm not muted anymore. How you gentlemen doing this evening?
We good.
So all right. So I get so frustrated where I hear people talk about fathers, especially black fathers, just like they ain't shit. And so I want to just tell a story of my father. My parents separated when I was 3 years old. Okay, now if anybody would meet me and see my father and my mother together interacting with me when I was playing football, when I was, I played a jazz band my whole life, I played music my whole life, they would think that there was no separation in the family. Because one thing that families had, especially black families who came out of the 60s, is that they understood that no matter what, number one, you keep the white man out of your business. Number two, you made this baby. You guys are responsible for raising this child together. So just to tell a different story, because I get so sick of this narrative, because I know a lot of brothers like this who not only cooperate with their baby's mom, even when they're not allowed, they go the extra mile, 20, 30 times more than anyone I've seen to make sure that they're in their kid's life. And so my father came to an agreement with my mother that no matter what, they're going to have dinner together, a family dinner once a week. So every Friday night I had a family dinner. And I know what the dinner was because, we country. My dad from Abilene, Texas. It was fried catfish, collard greens, and cornbread. And that's what we ate once a week. My mother made it for him. My parents, I felt tension in the air sometimes when they was mad at each other. But we had that dinner because they wanted to show me what normal was. And so it's very important that we understand that the majority of black men are in their kids' life.
That's what I said.
The majority of black men are going to be in their kids' life. And just because you're not married, a lot of times numbers do lie. A lot of times you say, well, if they're not married, so this is a single mother. It's a single mother, but father can have visitations on the weekends. Father can have the kids 50% of the time. Fathers are very active in their children's life. Now, yes, I'm not going to shoot bail for someone. Look, you're a piece of shit if you're just going to make a child and run away. That's what you are. No offense or buts. But when I hear people categorizing all men into one type because it's convenient, it fits their confirmation bias and it makes them feel better, then as a dude who's been on this planet for about 50 years and seen countless times, including black men, and this is where I get really passionate for, who died providing for their children, who didn't know what they were doing but still took a dangerous job and fell off scaffolding in the city as a laborer to die for their children to make sure that they had it better than them. My family's been in construction my whole life, so I've seen that. Then I just have to take a step back and say, you know what? Perhaps the real problem is the common denominator is the people that they've picked. Don't get mad at me because you picked somebody wrong. That's not my fault. And then you could tell by the way that you interact with people how they go about it. So like me, they say, well, how many kids you have that you don't know about? Some disrespectful shit like that. Well, I know when you lived in Europe and I know when you lived in Asia, you have a bunch of kids running around speaking a different language. First of all, if any kid came out of my body, that kid would be not only be the heir to my property and whatever I built, but would be with me. And so I don't have that. And most men think that way because that's in a man's nature. Now look, these half feminine acting, I'm sorry, when I was young, we just called them bitch made. I don't know what you folks call them.
No, there's some bitch made people out here.
Those folks who act like that, yeah. The important thing is that men like us call them out and get them out the way because they shouldn't be allowed to reproduce anyway. Let's just be real. When I was coming up, you had to man up to get a woman. You just couldn't walk up here, talking any old kind of way with no damn plan and get some booty. It just didn't work that way. And I don't know what changed between the 80s and now. And I'm not trying to be this old cat talking about, when I was young, this and that. But sometimes the old ways are better. And as far as your parents go, I'm going to tell you this and be honest with you, sir. They did the best they could with the information they had. Just like you're doing the best you can with the information you have. And your only job is to make sure that your children are more educated than you and do a better job and have it a little better than you. And that's how you build generational wealth. My father didn't learn how to even function in society until he went to the military and got shot twice in Vietnam for it. Then when he came out, he said, okay, I learned how to do this, and do this. You're going to be 10 times smarter than me. You can't go to the military. I wanted to join the military. You can't go to the military. That's standing on the shoulders of giants and understanding how to build wealth. And that's what my grandfather did for my dad. My grandfather was a sharecropper and a farmer. My dad went to the military and was a carpenter. I'm a businessman. That's how it works. And so,
that's facts. I had to give you one for that one, man, because that's absolutely facts. Yeah. If you compare guys back in the day to what happened now, it's a completely different thing. And then when you start to break all this down, it comes down to choice.
Yes, sir. I can't even compare myself and what I'm going through to you guys. Only thing I can do is say, hey, I've kind of seen this before. This is how I would handle it. Yep. Let me give you a little information. And that's what, and look, my generation failed a lot of you cats. And that's why I do what I do now. Because we were supposed to be here like the older cats with me who told me, hey, bro, you can't knock down every hole you see. You're going to have a bunch of kids and be broke. Hey, don't do that because they're going to put you in a jail. And after you get out of jail, your life going to be 10 times harder. I had this information from these cats who came up in the 60s my uncle used to write for the Oakland Tribune. He just covered the Black Panthers. That was his whole beat. And so he had that knowledge to give to me. And you know what? We failed because I was busy in the early 90s. I was about making money and working 60, 70 hours a week. I didn't have time to mentor nobody. So I got to go back and try now. And so with respect, I'll hop off. I'm actually working on some content. I'm doing my own thing, but man, every time I see you guys, man, y'all pull me in. I try not to get on. I'm like, man, and then I look. I said they talking about this. Let me get on and run my mouth a second.
Hey, listen, Grover. First of all, I appreciate you. Every time you hop on, man. Damn near a panelist now. So, get that. But also, self-awareness, man. 2022, this platform, we made a promise that we're gonna make that a thing, right? And in order to make that a thing, we also have to have the opposite side of the argument, the hard stuff that a lot of people don't want to have, and that's where a lot of this stuff is coming from, and that's the women. The women, a lot of this, and we not saying that the men don't have issues, but we can harp on the men. It's just that we got to figure out a way to put the message to a lot of women where they can understand it, not from the Kevin Samuels type of perspective where you just hear it and all of a sudden you get triggered or anything like that. But from a perspective where it comes from, like you guys can understand, this is love and this is facts and this is logic.
Yeah.
All right, this is where a lot of this is coming from. All right, let me just take you out of the element that you're in right now and walk you down a logical conclusion. All right, if X is happening, the reason why is because of choice.
100%.
That's
And
just what it is. We're not
choice
using
leads
that
to
as a
consequence.
derogatory thing to come at you.
Yeah.
We're not talking down to you. Maybe some guys out there may be condescending with it, but we're actually being serious. Men understand personal responsibility than anything else in the world because we get held accountable for just about everything. Okay, so when we're letting you know that the consequences a lot of women are facing now with single parenthood, that comes from the consequences of choice. With choice comes consequences. With choice is power. You don't realize that choice is power. The power of choice. Decision to walk away, decision to stay, decision to do all these different things. That's all power.
Yes.
So when you have that power, you can't then run from the responsibility that comes with it because that's what you guys are doing. And I'm not saying all women, and it sucks that I have to preface this, but I have to say this. It's not all women, but some of y'all who like that power of choice, but don't want to run away from responsibility. I'm talking about some of y'all women that will march in the streets for the power of choice, but then run away from the responsibilities. I'm talking about you women out there who want to talk about choices, and then run from the responsibility that come with it. I'm talking to y'all, not the women that understand y'all.
Yes,
There are plenty of women out there that get it, but there's a good majority of them that are out here that clearly don't, and are poisoning and corrupting the rest.
100%. You know, if you live in a country without choice, or you visit a country without choice, and things are made for you, then a lot of times you don't have this responsibility. People don't understand that living in a free society or a semi-free society, or what we call a free society, means that our choices we make have direct lines of consequences. Hey, you have a choice to be a bum if you want, but you ain't gonna have nothing. You have a choice to work really hard, but if you work stupid, you may not have anything. Choice has a lot of responsibilities to it. And so we've lived in such a remarkable time that I don't understand where you can have choice but not accept your consequences. And it's just, it doesn't make sense. So, you know, brothers, you're on the right track with having these type of conversations because you have a way, you can get fiery, you can be passionate, but we bring it back down to respecting the individual. Everybody who talks to me understands that I lead with respect. I call people sir who I'm older than because I want y'all to understand that feeling. I want you to understand that feeling of respect because you know what? It's very hard and I don't say, for people with our phenotype to have that respect. But I tell you one thing, once you get it, you ain't gonna let it go. I walk into a room and I'm usually in charge, and it works out that way for me. And so that's just one of the things. So salute to both of you folks. I enjoy the discourse.
You said, man.
I got to run. I got some projects I'm working on. You know, we try to pump out as much product as we can. So respect. I'll catch up with you gentlemen later. And just one thing, please keep doing what you're doing and don't be discouraged because people are going to come after you. But you know what? I said this a long time ago. If they could do what you do, they would be doing it. That's why they mad at you. All right?
That's facts.
Some OG quotes right there.
That's some OG. So Grover Reese, bro. Shout out to you. Shout out to you. No, it's a pleasure every time you come on, man. I appreciate that. And no, we're not gonna stop. We're not gonna stop, man. We're
Excellent.
too much on a roll right now. We just can't. There's too much to be done. Especially talking to black men about this because we got some responsibilities to deal with. But also talking to the sisters about it because most sisters aren't talking to each other about this, at least in the way that needs to be had. So if brothers can start the conversation, they can reach out to some of our sisters. I think we can start getting to a place of healing because we don't need everyone. We just need a critical mass of 10 to 15%, and we can make some changes with that. But we have to do the hard work until the changes come. That's just basically what it is, and we're not going to stop. I appreciate it, Grover.
Our culture is so influential that if we get 7%, we won. If we get 7%, we'll change the way the world does things.
Even 7%.
Remember something, when I was young, when I was a little boy, right? Hip hop came out and nobody wore sweats anywhere except in the gym. Nobody wore Adidas at all. Adidas was a dumb brand, right?
70s, right?
Yeah, late 70s, early 80s,
29, yeah.
right? 7% of the people started doing it. It started out in New York, and then New York got hot. Then you walk down downtown San Francisco, they started doing it. Then the South came. I'm telling you, you just need 7% to understand what's going on. And
Everybody else
understand the
follow.
truth. That's all you need. That's all you need. You're always closer than you think you are, but it's always harder than you want it to be.
Yeah.
Gentlemen, I got to jump off. Have a nice night. I'll holler at you folks later. I'll see you soon, okay?
Appreciate it, Grover. No, that was 100% facts, man. You guys got to realize that choice is power. It's a different form of power. Power comes in different forms, but choice is definitely part of it because it's connected to your will or free will. So you have free will, you have a certain level of power that comes with it. Okay, I've seen some comments over. You guys are saying, "Oh, don't worry about what the black women are doing, or don't worry about black men are doing." That's a stupid argument. Okay, we need to be worried. If you guys are under sex, we need to be worried about what y'all doing. We have to be worried about what y'all doing. It's so stupid and disingenuous to even say that kind of argument. And I see people who are using this argument all the time. Don't worry about black men, we're fine. Don't worry about black women, you're fine. No, we need to worry about each other because we need each other to get through the end of life. We need each other to create the next generation. We need each other, period. So if half makes a whole, but half and half is fucking up, well, we got to call each other out and hold the other half accountable. That's what needs to happen for the future of our civilization, our survival. The survival y'all like to complain about? No, this is real. Because you don't know how to work with the other side, ain't no surviving going on for anybody. You're all gonna die. That's just real. So you saying worried about yourself, but the other side is fucking up. That's like you know how dumb that argument is saying? That's like seeing your friend who's always overdosing on opioids or heroin, right? They're overdosing or they're taking too much, and then him basically tell you, no, don't worry about me, worry about yourself. That's what it is. You know that's your best friend. They're gonna OD or something. They're gonna die, but they're making that kind of argument with you, and you know how dumb that is because you know the consequences that keep heading that direction, and you'll be more of a piece of shit for not saying anything. You're not even gonna be a real friend. How are you supposed to be the real friend? You can't tell them when their lives fucking up. You know, different from a groupie. Got to call shit out on both sides, especially if the long-term consequences is gonna affect both sides. So if the men are fucking up, women call it out, and men call it out. If the women are fucking up, women call it out, and the men should call it out. We're in this together. We're a team. I know society and other women out here have gotten y'all thinking that we're not, but we're a team. And we need to be. And working as a team, meaning there has to be a certain level of accountability. Because that's how a relationship works. Accountability. We take ownership. We take responsibility of certain things. So if you're saying worry about yourself, don't worry about me, and you know for a fact you're not doing the work to get done, or your group isn't doing the work to get done because your group isn't raising wives, your group isn't raising sons, especially if your group has majority of the kids most of the time, then we got a problem. Because that means you're basically saying that one side should basically be allowed to do whatever fuck they want, and the other side should just shut the fuck up. And that's not going to work in this society. That's not going to work in this new day. I don't give a fuck how many times you can say people should mind their own business. That's not going to happen. We here, we're going to talk about it, ain't no shit y'all going to do about it till change happens. we are going to hit that critical mass, and we are going to start forcing y'all, especially the few of y'all over here who are pushing back against this thing because you don't want to take accountability. We're going to force y'all to take responsibility now. It's a new day and age. It's not us physically. We don't have to physically do that. We have the power of choice. A lot of us are realizing that power of choice, and we're taking that. We have the different powers of finance, education. Like Grover said, the kind of knowledge that we didn't know back then. It's happening now.
Like
So
minding
if you
your
think
own
we're still
business.
stand for that, that's done.
Minding your own business got us in this bullshit that we are right
That's
now.
done. Ain't nobody need to be minding. No. When it comes to the future of our civilization, we're not minding our own business. Nothing. Get that shit out of here. That's a bullshit argument to just say, no, focus on you while we do our own thing, but then y'all complain when your own thing doesn't work out for you. That's stupid. It's stupid. No. You have to understand that it's stupid. That is dumb. You can't just say worry about yourself, and then when we do, you guys are complaining because the decision that you made because we're worrying about yourself ain't working for y'all. That can't be our fault. But then now if we have to get blamed for it, Cynthia G, if we have to get blamed for it, then now we have to make it our problem. And now that it's our problem, who the fuck are you to tell us not to worry about it? Fuck all that. You lost that. You lost that responsibility the moment you gave up control. That's the moment you lost. The moment you gave up control to blame the men, that's the moment y'all lost responsibility. Now it's our responsibility. We're going to talk about it. Because you can't give up control and simultaneously say, no, we need to keep control while giving it up. If you can't control the situation, it's our shit now. And we got to take hold of it. Because y'all clearly are running this and not doing a good job of it. So, miss me with that bullshit argument. I don't want to hear it. We need to be worried about each other because we're in it for the long haul. Especially now with modern technology, we're living longer than ever. So we need each other. Stop this bullshit. We ain't worried about ourselves. We got to worry about each other. Your sisters ain't going to be fine. Your sisters are going to be homeless in the next few years.
But she doesn't even believe that bullshit, bro. Because
it's crazy. Y'all don't realize the kind of debt you're in.
Yeah,
y'all are the largest demographic, the largest holders of credit card debt, student loan debt, automotive debt. What are we talking about here? With no backup plan to pay any of this off. For the majority of y'all, the backup plan y'all have is a man. Like, how you gonna sit there and have us worry about ourselves, and the backup plan y'all have is a man? Y'all getting yourselves bumbling through our life, making these horrible decisions, getting yourself racking up all these damn debts because you ain't got no direction, and then you're gonna say, worry about yourself, but then turn around and blame the man for your shitty decisions. That's not how that works. That's not how reality works. Y'all are headed towards a position right now. Y'all not see it now, but it's gonna get bad. You are the largest bag holders of debt. The only reason why you guys financially run the market right now because the United States economy is a debt-based economy. He who has the most debt wins. That's just what it is. In this case, it's the women. That's why y'all dominate, because y'all willing to take out more debt to drive this bullshit economy.
Can you tell me the number, please?
Oh, I could pull it up, but it's billions of dollars. I think student loans.
No, for every dollar that's spent in this country, 76 cents is spent by a woman. So that's the reason why the government wants you to be alone by yourself.
Bro, the crazy thing is, I could tell you how many times where women have had conversations, because I got a buddy of mine that works in security, right? And in Madison right now, there's a homeless encampment that we used to have before the winter cleared all of them out. But it used to be a homeless encampment where there were a bunch of homeless women and men. And the one thing he would get complaints about the most is that the women who were also living in these homeless encampment that were homeless, which was a lot of them, it was surprised too. They were complaining about being sexually assaulted by the homeless men, and ain't nobody could do shit about that because they were locked in those, I wouldn't say locked, but they were in those entrapments with those other men, and they didn't have the protections. No one was there to protect them. So a dude can literally just go up in their tent, have their way with them, and they can't do shit about them. You take it to the cops ain't gonna do nothing because they're gonna look at you as a homeless woman. And y'all don't see this reality. It happens. It's happening down the street from me. Down the street. There are homeless women being assaulted right now with no goddamn protections. And some of y'all women on social media don't believe that can happen? Make it make sense. You're living in a child's world if you don't believe that reality is waiting for y'all if you don't make the right decisions this moment. It's happening to women right now, living in 10 cities that are here right now. These homeless dudes who are drugged up on opioids, they're forcing their ways into these tents where these women are and having their way with them. because the women are in homeless situations due to the decisions they made in their lives. This is real, and this is a reality. If you don't plan, it's gonna hurt you. And what's the biggest driver of that? Debt. Debt causes people to be stressed out. Stress causes people to use drugs. Drugs get people in a spiraling downhole that they can't come out of.
According to the chat, Dev is no bad at all. That girl Teresa M said that Dev
No,
is.
Teresa, you're either a troll. You're either a troll or you're an idiot. No, I like literally, you're either a troll or you're an idiot. Which either way, it's not good because there's almost 22% of women, damn near in this fucking on this platform. Highest women we've ever, like in entire manosphere space, we had that on this platform. So for you to pop out those disingenuous arguments that this kind of reality doesn't happen to women, even though I've freaking heard it and seen it. You tell me this doesn't happen, you are disingenuous to the women who are listening right now, and you are in the wrong place, frankly. So you need to admit that you're either disingenuous and you're being a troll, or you're an idiot. In this case, I think Cynthia G would accept you with open arms. I really think so. Because they'll buy all that stuff and believe nothing can happen to women. No, none of that. Get the fuck out of here with that. Like, women are out here, they're in real trouble. And unlike men that understand that that's a route that's waiting for them, a lot of y'all will be caught off guard.
She said I'm a sexist because I say she needs some love. She needs some love.
No. It's crazy, man. But this is a reality that is gonna be facing a lot of women. No, I don't care if you agree with me a lot or not. I don't want people to agree with me on this platform. Let me not catch one of y'all standboys over here. Nobody should be standboying on this platform at all. I don't support that whatsoever. You should disagree with me when you can, as long as it's logical. The problem with Teresa M, your disagreements are stupid. They're dumb. They just perpetuate dumb culture. That's what it does. All right? You can't just then say that women can't be homeless when I'm seeing that happen right now. You can't say that women won't get violated when they're in those situations when that happens right now.
Yeah, that's fast.
There are women who are facing the consequences of poor decisions they made in their lives. There ain't shit you can do about that. There are women right now who are falling in the traps because of debt. And they're getting increasingly more and more debt as the time goes by. This is bad. Y'all are the biggest bag holders of debt. That's why most of y'all are begging for student loan forgiveness. Oh, forgive my loans after 10 years. You think that's going to fucking happen? The government can't even properly take care of you during a pandemic. You think 10 years from now, they're going to pay your student loans off. You're I can't even say you're stupid anymore. You're just I don't know what else to call you. Like you're literally incapable of seeing the bigger picture. That's what it is. And in that case, and you probably need to go over to Cynthia G's because then that argument applies.
Oh,
the fact that you're a child. That's a childish argument.
She's over there, bro. I'm pretty sure she is.
No, she's over there. She's one of the Cynthia G clones. It is what it is. People want to win argument, not work together to find solutions. Facts. That's facts, man. Like, I got no ego, man. I don't have. Listen, there's so many times on this platform when I'm wrong, I admit that I'm wrong. Like, literally, what is the harm in saying that I'm wrong? Like, tell me, what is going to happen to me for me to saying that I'm wrong, admitting that I'm wrong? What is wrong with me admitting that maybe I don't think I'm a great father? Maybe I need to work harder. Maybe I don't think my best is good enough. What is wrong in that? What is wrong in admitting the fact that I failed? What's wrong with that? A lot of us just want to win. And we get to see the bigger picture. And the bigger picture is knowledge and understanding. Because if you fail, comes knowledge with the understanding that you can do better as long as you can pick yourself up. There's nothing wrong with that. But everyone wants to win an argument than to actually find solutions. Because to win an argument is easy. Because all you're doing is trying to talk about problems, and your problems outdo each other. Problems are easy to talk about. Solutions are hard.
But you know what's crazy, dude? I just thought about this. You know, like some of these red pill guys are so string and shit like that. They be like, oh my God, I'm going overseas to go get me a wife, right?
Travel brothers. I don't know.
Yeah. We were talking about it earlier in the group, right? Check this out. But you never, I mean, me personally, I haven't heard those guys say black women should abort black little girls and shit like that. You see what I'm saying? I never heard them say that. Yeah. At least. You see what I'm saying? You know what they say? I want to go to overseas to go get me a wife. Why don't these girls that follow Cynthia G, if did they really true to themselves, go overseas
Some
to
of
find a
them,
husband there? Why don't you do that?
some of these black women right now, you see them, they're clowning Filipino ladies because a lot of Filipinas are dating black men now, right? They're dating black men in large numbers, and right now they're coming at a lot of these Filipino women, you know, and they're coming at all the, oh, you guys are going in there, you're dealing with these little girls overseas and whatnot. It's like, listen, y'all are incapable of seeing the bigger picture. That bigger picture is that black man you complain about is still getting married. It's just a woman that looks different from you, a woman from a different culture. They still getting married, and you not. You're watching them get married to women from cultural groups that support that. So instead of you emulating that same behavior to keep your black man over here,
Can hear you. Can hear you, boy. Can hear you. Can hear you. You mute. I can't hear you. You do. Hey, you are mute. You are mute.
I was talking so crazy, couldn't even know my mic was out.
I know, man.
Well,
You was laughing, man.
These women in Brazil, these men going to Brazil, going to Dominican Republic, all these different places are complaining that these different women are taking them for a loop, taking them for a ride. It's like, no shit, dumbass. Female nature is different. It's the same thing, no matter where you go. Just different degrees. That doesn't change. If you're going overseas to trick, you're going overseas to go find a treat, you're gonna get tricked. That's just how it works. If you don't learn how women deal with men here today, and you thinking going overseas to find you a treat is gonna work out, you're gonna get tricked. All these dudes getting tricked. They're getting tricked out there right now, either for their lives or for their wallets. You just don't realize it. So stop running away from your problems. Learn how to deal with women there. But if you actually go overseas to find you a wife, that's a different story. Because that means you're legacy minded and you're not finding wife material here. That's just what it is. So we can make that distinction. We can easily make that distinction. But don't sit here and clown other dudes for going overseas to find wives while you're not wife material yourself. Make it make sense.
But look, my solution is simple, bro. My solution is, why don't you follow their footsteps? You say black man and shit, that's fine. Why don't you take your ass to Russian or Philippine or China, whatever it is, and find a husband out there? And instead of saying abort black babies, I think I wouldn't have no problems with you if you go over there. And instead of saying abort black baby, that's crazy right there. You see what I'm saying? That's what I was gonna say. At least those guys don't say that crazy shit.
Black women are doing that. Not in droves, not to the majority of numbers that black women would like to do that, but black women are going overseas and married interracially. I know Nigerian women that go overseas and marry interracially. A lot of women are doing that, but it's not to the same numbers as black men. And the reason why is just a matter of options and choice. Men of other racial groups have different options than women, black women. Let's just be real. Now we have to point out another uncomfortable truth. Black women don't have that many choices. Let's just be real. That's why that lady in Cynthia G's stream was just like, well, you know, black men know that we're gonna have to deal with them anyways. Y'all know the overwhelming amount of men that are gonna be dealing with you are black men. It's just not gonna be the good black men that you want, but they're gonna be black men dealing with you. They're not. I don't see Arab dudes coming over in droves to deal with black women. I don't see white dudes coming over in droves. They do that, but they're not to the same level. It's not. None of it's to the same level. Look at all these different dating apps. You see where black women are ranked, and it's not because of them individually. It's just them as a collective, because of the imaging. So y'all don't have that many options. I would say even a few minority of them can pull it off, right? Yeah. The Bernice Burgos of the world, the Lori Harveys of the world, right? They can pull it off. They can go to different groups. That's fine. The Rihannas of the world, right? Rihanna married an Arab billionaire. So they can do it. Halle Berry's of the world, right? Those ladies who can do that. But those ladies have a certain amount of look and style to them that helps them pull it off. The average ladies don't have that, and they'll never possess that. ever. So you're not gonna be at that level. But y'all date out, y'all just don't have it in mass numbers. If y'all did, this wouldn't be a problem.
Yeah, that's true. And I don't think white men is like making a line to date black women like that. To be honest with you, I know white boys that be like, I don't think so, man. I'd rather deal with my white guy, with my white girls. I'm telling you, bro.
Classic Ruby. You're proving my point. You're proving my point. In the end, it comes down to a matter of choice. All right. Every black woman I know had options to date and marry men of other races. They just didn't want to. They wanted a black family, black church at the end of the day.
I don't
So
know.
it's a matter of choice. Then why, if this is what women want, why are we seeing the opposite? Why are we seeing less black families? Why are we seeing women coming out talking about black babies? It comes down to a matter of choice, and we're not choosing properly. We're not. What this tells me is black women who had the option to date marry men of other races aren't choosing the right black men to start the right families with. That's what it tells me, because this shouldn't be an issue. If you know women have the option that they have, and women know that they have the option that they have, we wouldn't have the issue that we have right this second. We would see a lot of women dating out right now in the same numbers black men are dating out without complaints or issues. We would see that right this second. And I know sisters have options. I know that. But then again, it comes down to choice.
Yeah, I don't think that's. I disagree with that one.
Here's the thing. I agree. I agree that women. There's certain black women that have the options, and they're like certain sisters that have a certain
real
look,
small.
All right, but the vast majority of black women that don't have that particular look don't have the option. I mean, just be real. I mean, they'll be pumped and dumped by black dudes, by other not black dudes, but other racial groups, but they're not gonna have. They don't have that choice, because they did. Zaddies would be the new thing, and Zaddies, they ain't going after sisters like that. I'm just gonna be real. It's just not how that works. It's the other way around. It's the other women of racial groups coming over here.
Now that's a higher clip.
That's the problem.
Yeah, that's a higher clip right there. See, man, and that's come down to this, man. It's just like, and that's what is the problem. Like, black women want to compete with black men like neck to neck. Like, they wants to be complete equal to a man. You see what I'm saying? Like, they don't want to take a step back and follow the man's lead. They want to be neck to neck, yo. You see what I'm saying? Like, in that's what they start saying, this bullshit now. Like, oh yeah, we can equally date on other races. Which, yeah, they will fuck you. Yeah, good luck when they bring you. Think they're gonna bring you to their families? I don't think so, baby. But okay, you can go ahead and believe that.
And I think part of to solve some of the issues, we also gotta do that with that problem too, where women have to differentiate between when a man wants sex versus when a man wants love, because I think that they conflate both things as a man wanting them. Right, you can't. Women are not differentiating the difference between sex and love. Overwhelmingly, men want sex from women. All right, but very few men will want love after that, because you have to be able to provide something other than the box for a man to love you, especially a good, valuable man. A great value man would love you just for giving him the box, but that's not real, because you just give him the box, so it's sex based. But a real man would love you for more than that, because as soon as he gets a box, he's got to know what else is it. A box comes a dime a dozen to a real man. Box comes a dime a dozen. But what comes after the box was what matters. And a lot of y'all ladies, most of them, right, that don't get wifed up, the reason why you don't get wifed up is because you believe that you don't need to bring anything else aside from the box.
That Teresa girl is going on fire, boy.
Nah, she talking crazy. She's a Cynthia G clone. That's just what it is, which is fine. I welcome that in the chat, because it makes for good discussion.
It is funny,
but ultimately, the when you bring it to reality, the reality doesn't match up with what you say. Cynthia G, your reality doesn't match up with what you say. I'm sorry. I don't care how many times you try to make it make sense. It just doesn't make sense, because that's not how reality works. So, I mean, I think this is an interesting discussion. Cynthia G definitely made it on the Duke and Down radar, so we're going to definitely be clowning your ass, and we're going in. Listen, we're going to be respectful about it. Jeez, I'm not once called you out your name. I'm not once. The only thing I've called you is a clown, and you're dumb, because your arguments are clownish and stupid. So we're gonna keep it to the arguments, but you need to understand that what you're saying, the ideology you're saying, is toxic, and it's no different from some of these hardliners right over here saying the exact same thing about women, and you would be pissed off if they say things about women. And you're actually the kind of group of women that these manosphere dudes, when I hear them talk about women, I hate it. The reason why is because they're giving energy to women like you, to give you energy to talk about. That's all it is. That's why I say stop giving these type of women power. Because when they love to hear when a black man complains about black women. These are the kind of women right here that love that shit. They love it because they use it as content. What really scares them are the black men that don't talk about it but just do it. That's the one that you see them complaining about on social media. The real ones with value that just do it. They don't complain that you see them pop out with a Latina girl. You see them pop out with a white bitch. You see them pop out with a Brazilian. You see them pop out with any other color aside from black sister. And y'all the same one that go on social media, your little clubhouse room, your little Facebook group, and complain. Because you know those guys, they weren't out there in the same group of dudes you're over here shaming that are complaining. They're not in those groups. They're guys who actually live in the real world and they're making those changes without telling y'all. And when y'all find out, y'all get mad. Because that's the truth. You love the guys that complain because they give you power. That's what I'm telling you, great value males out there. Stop talking about these women like that. Stop making every conversation about them because these are the women you're empowering. The Cynthia G clubs. That's who you're empowering. They love it when a black man complains about a black woman in black relationships because it fuels everything. It validates everything. It gives them the power they need to keep clowning y'all, to keep this messaging up. Because all they can do is turn on and say, hey, look, dumb dudes are complaining about us. Look at them. All they do is sit there and complain about black women all day. And they're not even the same guys that we would want to submit to. And they're right. They're absolutely right, fellas. They're right. Because the more you complain about these things, the more you talk about black women this, black women that, the more power you give them. So they have every right to say that you're losers. But the men that they're worried about are the men that are going out there and doing their thing without even having to talk about it. Oh, you're a queen? You're... Okay, let me go ahead and get this Filipino over here. Yeah. Oh, yeah, let me show how much of a queen you are. I'm gonna shower her with all the love. You talk about building black family. Get that shit out of here, man. There's too much. There's too much, and we got to come at the heart of the rut. We have to, and that starts with the way of thinking. But anyways, Bobby, you got something to say while we close out?
It's pretty sure this is gonna be they're gonna be coming around a little bit more often with these crazy ass ideas and shit like that.
Then we gonna be covering it, baby. That's just how it works.
It's just more fuckery, bro. Like I said, man, earlier, I don't believe that Cynthia G lady actually believed that bullshit, bro. I hope I'm right that she just trying to sell a product, whatever she's trying to sell, trying to get some super chats or something. Because she got a black kid, bro. Like that's it, yo. Like, are you gonna dish your? I wonder what the kid is. If it is a boy or a girl, like you wanna dish your kid that, yo? If it is a boy, I feel sorry for the little boy. Jesus Christ, like
no, that's facts, man.
I mean,
a lot of women just got to be cognizant because I think women just say things and do things now in society without really having to really think about the consequences that has to come with a lot of these decisions, man. And I think we got to start reminding them whether it's OnlyFans and selling your body online, especially if you have kids, that's something that's gonna basically haunt you. Not only it's gonna haunt you in the form of your kids, whether it's how you're talking about the baby daddies when the daddy's not around in front of the kids. You guys don't realize that the kid's gonna grow up and have resentment against you. I had that happen in my household too. When I was like growing up, I hear my mother talk bad about my father, man. I'm like, well, I love that guy. So does that make me an asshole? And growing up, it made me grow resentment towards her for having to talk to him like that, right? I not only grow resentment from my father because he wasn't here, so it made me believe that some of the elements he was saying was true. But other than that, and aside from that, it made me grow resentment from her because I'm like, why are you talking about shit about a dude that he's my dad at the end of the day? You guys don't realize this, man. You are creating, you're becoming the architects of your own destruction. And we have to stop that by going at the mentality, bruh.
Yeah,
and that's what this is all about. So we're going to keep talking about this. We're going to keep doing all this stuff and have these conversations because it is important. And self-awareness in 2022, folks, we going to get there. We're going to get there. Men and women alike, we're going to be talking about it, all right? Ladies, sisters, I love you. I love all our sisters. I love all that, but we got to be real with y'all. You got to understand this is coming from a place of love, not a place of hatred, like some of these other dudes. We love y'all, but y'all capping sometimes. So let's catch us on tomorrow's video, tomorrow's live, tomorrow morning. We're going to be talking about some crazy shit, all right? You definitely don't want to miss that episode. Hey, DJ Academics calling out Kevin Samuels. Oh, shit. We're going to be talking about that tomorrow morning, too. And we may actually have a great value stream later that night, too, as well, man. We're probably going to talk about money, politics, or finance. We don't know, but you look out for the thumbnail. With that being said, we'll catch you guys on the next video, next live. If you don't want to miss that, hit the bell notification, hit the like button on the video, and the sub button.